There's smiles, there's good emotions there. But DreamEaters, you know, if they were able to take this first map, I think that does definitely significantly knock the confidence of Renegades, and they are very capable of it. And we'll see DreamEaters starting off on the CT side here on Mirage. Of course, they got to pick the side because it was the map pick of Renegades. Renegades being on the T side, as it will be collecting a couple flashbangs and a smoke grenade. Otherwise, Kevlar for everybody else, and Crad is the man with a double flash and a kit. And Renegades looking like they'll start things off with a rush into the B-bomb side. Looks like your minimap is frozen there, so I wonder if the HUD can get refreshed. I think it's stuck.
Maybe between rounds. DreamEaters are waiting. There is a bait set up. Forrester is on the end of the balcony. The pops begin for Sviat. He's good for the second one. Forrester with the first, and the flashbangs go, and the bait setup is still in position. They've got no idea about it. He's being patient. Oh, he's gonna die. That's a disaster. Although there is position for the CT side. When a T just won't stop moving, that is a lot more awkward than it looks. I promise you that. The bomb is with Renegades. They still have a chance. Now, if they just try to reset the situation, DreamEaters will be forced to spread out across both sites. They could go for a push in B apartments, but of course that comes with its own risk. Crad is by the bench at the moment. Speedax making his way back towards the A site, while Kinky's still in market.
Yeah, so DreamEaters are playing this really safe. Speedax being in and around ticket will definitely allow him to get the info, allow him to, if there is a plant, he'll hear it, he'll be able to hold on to CT, so his teammates can safely rotate through to that position if they want. And so that's a decent spot for DreamEaters to find themselves in. But because this is a pistol, you know, Renegades, they've made a really good choice at this. Resetting the situation in this way makes things very winnable. Will Speedax peek though before the bomb goes down? He's taking some conservative positions, and he won't spot anyone just yet. Now he's taken down the bomb. Rotation's coming in. He's buying time for his teammates. He decides to not die, and he goes for the committed peek before his teammates can get there, which means Azza can just plant the bomb, and that is a problem. I think Speedax needed to play that a little bit more conservatively. And Azza is on for this 1 versus 2 now. He switches up for the USB.
Spots both players at the same time, and Crad will deliver a big headshot. Now, who to pick for Go TV, I do wonder. I don't know, man. I've got to pick someone on DreamEaters at this point. I'm kind of leaning towards Crad, because he's been important for his team.
Yeah, he's a standout.
You think Crad is a good pick?
I think Crad and Forrester, those have been the two names that keep coming up again and again on DreamEaters' side, delivering clutches and great plays. I have to say, I've never quite seen that situation before where that bait setup is alive for so long. So that's quite interesting.
Standing there blind. Didn't get that final kill, but they will get the round regardless. DreamEaters in control on the CT side for now. No force buy from Renegades. We've seen a lot of teams favor this. Having 2-3 rifles, definitely getting a Krieg out. Renegades, though, with a different approach. They've got the butcher buy, looking for the meat shots with the 5 deagles, make it 4. As Azza's head has been exploded like an episode of The Boys. Maybe not like that. Anyway, 1 minute 30 on the clock. DreamEaters, they've got enough grenades for control. You can see the bomb making its way towards the B-apps for the moment, but there's a flashbang for JKS. He's over towards the A-bomb site, trying to run distraction, but DreamEaters need not over-rotate with 5 players alive.
Oh, Forrester, I think he's got a clue, an inkling as to what's happening here. Sviat will reposition as well. Indeed, Forrester just gets himself 1, commits to the second, but Sviat is there in response, so it looks like things will be under control and things will be finished off. So another round going in the way of DreamEaters, and 1 player lost, which is absolutely acceptable for DreamEaters, and Renegades will be going for the full buy. And what is their plan? They've got pretty much maximum utility, so that's good. Missing 3 grenades in total, that's it. So how do they want to start their T side? The AWP is already out on Speedax, and that will be dangerous for sure.
Five AKs for Renegades. A good level of grenades, as they're keeping the CTs honest in the halls. Going past the carpet shop, closed for now. Window and connector are smoked, but it's the CT side of connector, if you will, in the sense that it is to their advantage to look over the smoke. As the Ts, you want to do this side, where Sviat is standing. You can do it from outside A, as you sometimes see Forrest do, or from top mid, where you line up the grenade with the aerial. Look out for that on your Go TVs. Meanwhile, Speedak is creeping with the AWP. Forrester's on the balcony of the B bomb site. Not too aggressive, he's only got an MP9, but DreamEaters are putting 4 people on the A bomb site. The lurker from A is moving away, so this could end up being a mistake.
There's some decent ground gained by Renegades here, and Gratis Faction will perhaps be curious towards ladder room soon. It might be, I mean, the B split really is absolutely on. They might want to keep pressure on Connector, try to get somebody in Connector, but then B split with the rest of the players will be very strong. Just one player on that side of the map is Forrester in the apartments, and he's going to be a lot of trouble. He's just got Molotov, he's forced out of his position. So that one Molotov is maybe just won the round, because it's 5 versus 4. DreamEaters don't have economy really behind this. They wouldn't really be able to buy properly if they lost everything here. So they're just going to go for the save. And you know what? That's cool. They gambled in a way, like 4 towards A. They gambled it, and I'm happy that they understand that within that gamble, if you're wrong, you don't have to lose everything. That's part of the way that that's part of this decision.
First round on the board for Renegades in a few seconds or so, and indeed it is a good decision from DreamEaters. They invested in the A-bomb site and they will hold on to their investment figuratively and beyond. Renegades on the board early. They need to survive in the numbers. They've got money to make. This is not the time to be hunting. This is the time to secure their own economy, prioritize theirs, then exploit their opponents. In that order is the key to success, at least for now. As I'm sure will be dropped to weapon, and it's pretty much a reset of the previous round. Not that much to add from either squad.
You can almost see the fleet there, but not quite. And it's going to be the last kill for Ariel as well. Great job.
Okay, we have DreamEaters with another chance with this buy that they, of course, just pretty much saved almost everything with. And Speedak's going to go towards this A ramp with the AWP. And this might actually catch something, because Renegades do have a couple players towards A ramp, the bomb included. So they're looking to go for an A split. They've got 2 players coming through the underpass shortly, and they've got JChem sitting at top mid, waiting for those underpass players. The underpass players will allow a clearance of the connector and window position to allow JChem to close the distance. He can also throw the nades. He can smoke out connector. He can pop flash connector as well for his teammates. So you can see this how the default setup works in that sense. Nice positioning from Sviat. We got the boost into window. Will this be checked for? Az is creeping. He's going. Where is he going to go? Market, or is he going to go CT spawn? Really, both decisions can cause huge damage. Going towards CT. This is dangerous.
Renegades showing presence from the front of A to run distraction. Grenades around that sandwich jungle area. How about that for some smoke? Some one of them must have gone wrong. Azza's found one. He will engage. Found a second one. Really hard for the CTs to defend now. Azza peeking again. Maybe too early, because Renegades had a chance to pinch, but it's not quite working out. Now they feel stuck around the Tetris position. That's a huge frag from JKS, a star player for Renegades. Kinky and sandwich, and it seems that this will go the way of Renegades. Sviat taken out, leaving Forrester alone towards that B bomb site. Now DreamEaters in a rough position. Not planting the bomb just yet. They do not know the position of Forrester. There it is. The bomb has been planted. Forrester has been spotted, but he doesn't realize it. Gratis Faction now towards Triple has a quick look. No need to 1v1 though. Jacob's moving in for a look as well. But there's plenty of 2v1 opportunities to be had. I think they are just trying to hold him in position, because you can see JKS rotating. So perhaps that's part of it. AWP now for Gratis Faction, and Renegades will tie the score, and they're sending DreamEaters in towards Eco Town.
Yeah, this was an interesting one, because I almost thought that Azza didn't do enough with his flank, because he immediately goes for that first kill, as opposed to kind of trying to get more information first and maybe get secure a double.
I think it was a hard spot though, because the CT was walking backwards and he would have turned towards the CT position at any time, so it was a bit rough for him.
Either way, they managed to convincingly win the round, and DreamEaters were unable to mount too much of a defense, and that's definitely a great start for Renegades. They've got a really good position now to start hammering away all the residual money from DreamEaters and start taking momentum on their T side, which is much needed. Forrester, of course, keeping what he had, and his teammates will fire up some deagles around it, but that's it. Speedak straight in towards the underpass, and it's a mid-play from Renegades. They've got 3 players bursting quite quickly towards Connector. So pretty fast pace, but the bomb is left towards the opponent's entrance. Leas will find one of the sneaky CTs of DreamEaters, but he'll be dealt with. What is the next move now for Renegades?
Forrester, he's got the big gun. Satisfaction is looking though, all the timing might just pay off. Not too stuck in the corner. No worse positions to be in, but he will regress. In the meantime, Kinky will be taken care of. They know where the org is now. Just need to be careful around this position, and they will be. And everything has been taken away from DreamEaters save for this org. The numbers game, the distraction game. Forrest is now in the self-preservation game.
So much of this round.
Has the unscopes. I don't know if Jacob saw him, but now we see there's more to be done in terms of hunting for Renegades. Their money's a little better, but DreamEaters' money is a lot worse. And that will be a successful round for Renegades. No one lost. Everything taken away. All the money spent for DreamEaters is gone.
Yeah, this is definitely the start that they needed, and Renegades that is, and it doesn't look like they are being too contested so far. They've been able to get map control from their defaults. They've been able to develop that map control into further positions, for example, connector or ladder room or whatever it might be, and then they're able to make the site hits actually work pretty effectively so far. So far so good for Renegades. DreamEaters are the ones that need to mix things up, and just looks like a tiny gap here for Speedak. This is beautiful, but unfortunately if they're heavy, he's not going to spot anything towards Catwalk. The smoke here. Azza, and we'll just barely get that against Krad, down to 6 HP, but they've managed to convert 2 kills. I'm sure they are happy with that.
Molotov towards the van position, Fiat forced away, the smoke is up, but can he get a trade frag? He can't. The numbers are here for Renegades, they've got the site for the most part. Speedak by the van position, trying to do something. Gratisfaction saying hello, JK's got the grenade in his hand, not dead though. So many chances, so many tight shots, but Speedak won't land any of them. Kinky continues to move forward, despite it being on 1 versus 4. So I wonder what his plan is, hiding in plain sight perhaps. He doesn't have a kit. Maybe there's one on the side. I don't know if he would consider a ninja in this position. Renegades must make sure they don't get too comfortable. JKS watching the window. The inverse of that peak actually is important for the CTs if they can stop T's getting to the bench to hold for the retake. So look out for that position in the rounds to come. But anyway, DreamEaters are back into eco territory. Not allowed out of Eco Town, it seems. And that's the pixel gap we were talking about in previous games of Mirage, but in the reverse angle.
Yeah, smooth stuff so far. I like the decisiveness from Renegades and the calling and so on. That's the sideways window smoke. It's a little more.
I did wonder. It looked like he got blocked by his teammate, but it landed.
Yeah, no, you can kind of hard stop there against the edge of the wall. But as it will take down 2 very fast-moving rounds, 2 from Catwalk to Connector, just 2 through to the A bomb site. So right now they're just annihilating these pistols, as expected, I suppose. Sviat will try to get something, steal away a weapon. He might get a 1v1. There it is, and he can steal that gun. That is very accessible. I don't know that there's anyone that can really punish this, and not even going so far to get that extra step to get the molly on the ground. He's going to fall back. He wants that AK guaranteed as possible, and that's some small win for DreamEaters. But right now they're being overpowered, James. Again, like Renegades get to play their phase 1, no problem, getting map control. Phase 2, they develop map control. Phase 3, hit a bomb site, and everything's looking good.
This is a good start from Renegades. They're supposed to be a favourite in this series, and they're showing strength at present, and you do want to see that from them. Generally speaking, this is what you want to see from Renegades. So far, so good. Can DreamEaters get into this half on the CT side? We've seen lopsided starts and close scores in a lot of different games here at the Major. Close scores at half-time, I should say. So we'll see if that happens. DreamEaters are 60%, it seems, on HLTV. 60 to 40, yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, if you look at the run of losses for Renegades and the teams that DreamEaters have been beating, I think it's hard to actually pick Renegades for this, as weird as that sounds. It's up to them to show us otherwise.
Yeah, it's one of those weird ones statistically. If you look at the context, that Renegades have been a bit absent, and DreamEaters have actually been putting in the work. But that's also, I think, you highlighted just the lack of experience people have against DreamEaters, as well as maybe to some extent you could argue some overperformances on their side as well. And
they are two, like in terms of the world ranks, Renegades are 17 and DreamEaters are 19.
Yeah.
So I think in that respect they've crept up on people.
Yeah, they definitely crept up for sure. I think that obviously the miners really helped, and they run through the miners and what they've done so far as well. in the previous week to get to this point. But here we go. I think this is going to be a telling situation. They need to be able to do something against Renegades. Renegades will take top mid once again. They've been so confident in doing it. There's a challenge from Kinky, but it's lackluster. Crad will get it though. Ooh, the trade with that Molly and then the HE follow-up.
They've turned them on, Dan.
The Ordnance is doing damage.
Well, it's still a 3 versus 3, which probably favors Renegades, and with all that action in mid position, they've pulled DreamEaters away from the A-bomb site. They don't know how good they've got it just yet. And this is buying time for Forrester to rotate towards that CT position. Jacob gets taken out. Crad is getting sprayed down. He's got 2 kills so far. And JKS is retreating in the palace. The bomb needs to be rescued. And it is top mid at present. I don't know if DreamEaters know this. It seems they do because Crad is racing up there as well. And he's picked up a smoke grenade in his travels, spots the bomb, but how deep he's going to go? Surely he hears the footsteps of Liaz, who runs straight into it, but with the 5-7, he's going to pop the head. That is a beautiful shot from him. Picks himself up a rifle. And they go towards the B bomb site now, but it seems there's a hard read from DreamEaters that they've got 2 people rotating in that direction, so they may be in a flanking position, but how long can Forrester survive for? JKS has jumped out of the window. They've got to check the site before planting the bomb. They won't do it properly though. With so much time on the clock, they'll check half the site, maybe not expecting the rotation to come in that fast, and that is disaster for JKS. He cannot surely expect Sviat to be on the high ground. He's got 35 seconds. Sviat having a look. Does he jump out of apartments? Surely not. Does he think JKS? Oh, he's going to give a sound cue if he does. Over. JKS has seen him now. 25 seconds. We've got grenades up on both sides, and Molotov will it land on the balcony, forcing Sviat deeper in. They've both got mollies up. 18 seconds. In that respect, Sviat has the advantage. JKS has to get his skates on, looking for the angle, just about to spot the head. He goes for the engagement. There's the head from JKS. Huge clutch from him.
Oh man, you feel though that Sviat just had to delay JKS. At that point, when he committed to the peak, there was 6 seconds. It actually wasn't possible for him to plant the bomb. I don't think the JKS had the bomb, right? Because the bomb had just been killed, so the bomb was on the site, and JKS hadn't collected it yet. So I think that's a bit of a misplay coming in from Sviat, and that's very unfortunate. That should have been a round for DreamEaters, I think. And as you say, James, 40 seconds to go, and no check at all of the bomb site, is definitely an issue. But still, it works out for them. And here comes the flash into the middle, and once again it's pistols for DreamEaters, largely speaking. Speedak on the AWP, and DreamEaters, they need to find a way to stop Renegades.
Those are the kinds of rounds which sometimes Renegades lose. This time they win, and again they're running out of opportunities to lose or win those rounds, being 0-2. The upset on Vertigo, which it was kind of their choice to go to against Avangard. Pistols are out for DreamEaters. They have the half fight. They've got Kevlar here and there, but the frags are going the way of Renegades. JKS 10 for 3 so far. The big boy for Renegades continues to deliver.
2 big kills.
7-2 now in favor of the Renegades. So this CT side so far is a non-starter, and Renegades have built so much money because of the lack of frags recently from DreamEaters that they need a lot of things to go their way, DreamEaters, to get back into this half, because there's buy after buy after buy to come from Renegades.
Yeah, I think the idea in the previous round was correct in terms of trying to challenge middle. Try to make sure that, because Renegade, and that's the thing with Mirage, is that obviously middle's very important. You don't want to always challenge it. You do want to try to play really passively sometimes as well, mix things up. But going for the big challenges, just get rid of one player at least, and just hinder that default of the T side. That can then slow them down, and that creates problems. And there you go, nicely done from Crad. Spots over the smoke, finds a headshot into Azag. Trade out into the short position though, as Gratisfaction will eliminate the AWP onshore Speedax. Look at that peak from Sviat, almost with a double. And this is what we're talking about. We're getting into the 3v3 now, and do you expect a peak from Crad? Absolutely not. And he doesn't need to do more. Sees the bomb, gets a kill, gets out of there.
JKS gets the sound cues, figures out where Forrester's gone. Oh, he sees his head, but he can't swat it on this occasion. DreamEaters fight straight back. They get some AK upgrades and an AWP picked up by Crad as well. Those toys will certainly help, but once again, there's loads of money. There's loads of money for Renegades. DreamEaters need consistent rounds. Az has bought, and he's got 7k in the bank. JKS the same. Jacob's got 8k in the bank. There's so much money for buys from Renegades, so it's really going to be a tall order for DreamEaters to get even, let's say, 6 rounds in this half, the way things have been going, but it's never too late for momentum to swing in your favor. DreamEaters aggressive now towards the A ramp. Liaz is creeping. There may be a quick frag here. Indeed, there will be. Kinky got shooting pretty fast, and Liaz has nothing to say about that one.
So yeah, going for it there. JKM will go down, but the trade is in as well. And again, I'm really enjoying that we get this response in middle. Just make things difficult for Renegades. And we've seen, of course, I think there's evidence. Oh my god, okay, well, hold the thought because Krad is in T-spawn. I don't know if he already spotted the bomb, but he's going to absolutely annihilate Azza. Takes his head right off, and now he falls back. Good move. I think that will be heard from JKS, but it's a 4 versus 2, so he doesn't need to do any more in that position. And I think falling back was a smart choice. Now Renegades are in desperation mode.
Problem with this is, for Renegades, Speedak is somewhere with an AWP. You kind of, to a degree, you kind of have to walk and not throw grenades to telegraph your position because you are so low on numbers. On a map like Overpass, sometimes you'll see when there's 2 Ts left, one rotate towards A, for example, try and pull rotation in that direction and leave the other guys to plant on B. You don't see that so much on Mirage, especially with the way the angles work. It's maybe a lot to ask. You can't kind of like sneak in around the back like you can through Monster in a low number situation, but 4 is not a low number for DreamEaters, and there we go. Survive with 4, that is the first test in the bag. But again, there's still money for Renegades. That was a huge early fight in the mid position, but it seems that Renegades came off worse.
Yeah.
And now DreamEaters are at 4.
Yeah, and the thought that I want to continue is just that I think that DreamEaters have adjusted in the right way. You have to try to stifle Renegades' defaults and make them sustain some kind of damage before they get into the mid-round, because we see that Renegades are making mistakes when we get to the mid-round and late round when they're not able to execute their plan. There's mistakes to be made, and here's a quick B rush, so this is going to be interesting to see if DreamEaters can hold this one straight out. Sviat gets 3, and oh my god, they've all just been annihilated. So
there was some huge grenade damage in that round. They were stuck in a choke point. They were brutalized. They were victimized. There's barely a trace of their bodies there. I just saw big chunks of red damage from some HEs, I think, in that apartment area. And again, you have to, like 2 rounds ago, you have to have been comfortable as Renegades. Like, okay, they've won a round. We've got like 11k per person. It's fine. We will reset them. They're going to have some troubles. That hasn't happened. DreamEaters make it to 5. There's still money for Renegades. Still, even with 3 rounds in a row for DreamEaters and no bomb plants in any of those rounds, Renegades still have a full buy. But where has the success gone?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, obviously, as I mentioned, I think things started to turn around as soon as
there's the HE. Look, boom.
Nice. So actually, I have to say, so one thing, the adjustment from DreamEaters was to start playing, harder in those defaults. I think one of the reasons why Renegades, or harder against the defaults of Renegades, I think one of the reasons why they hit up that B so fast is because they're trying to counter-strat a aggression in middle from DreamEaters, which would leave maybe one player on B to respond to that. But that's not what the round was for DreamEaters, so they just annihilate that. So that's an unfortunate one for Renegades. I think that's an intelligent choice, but also I think...
Oh, he's jumping! He was jumping!
Oh my god.
It's the same pixel shot, but Forrester was just jumping on the back of the balcony. He wasn't even on the balcony. He was jump peeking.
Eek. That's
not a frag you see.
Yeah, that is kind of outrageous.
Do you know, I do wonder if that is a coach frag. If he's looking at the demos and be like, this dude jumps on the corner.
Right.
Take this angle.
A coach frag.
Yeah, man, it's a coach frag.
Are you coining it?
Do it. I love coins.
Well, Renegades, they've got themselves the advantage. And the utility situation for DreamEaters really sucks. So you kind of want them to take some form of a risk in terms of trying to push something, trying to maybe leave someone really deep on Palace, and then rotate crowd around towards Market or something if they more so suspect B. And that's the problem. That one smoke there outside of connector, that creates a lot of issues because that can mean absolutely anything.
38 seconds for Renegades to capitalize on their advantage. We've got Azza showing presence through connector, but they are a little shy, making their way towards short now. Sviat at some point is surely going to have to turn around. No one's actually in the B bomb site. Next in the market position. The pre-fire doesn't quite work out for Sviat. That's the higher ground advantage gone, and DreamEaters have been completely outmaneuvered. What an awesome frag from Gratisfaction. That has got to be demo review. While all of this is going on, Azza's still in connector. He's looking to make it more expensive for DreamEaters. 2 more rounds to fight for, and the money's not perfect. Everybody's got a full buy but Forrester. He's got $200. He's been in the casinos.
I think one of the things we need to see from DreamEaters is we need to see an individual stepping it up a little bit. We've had some moments where it's come down to these frags, the fragging, and too many of these 1v1s have been lost by DreamEaters, I think. And that was an interesting round because DreamEaters had a player pushed in B apartments. They had also Kinky who pushed around T spawn just before the push came in. So DreamEaters had enough information to know what was happening, but it really came down to that 1v1 in the B apartments. If that pick goes the way of DreamEaters, and it was an advantage on that frag, then I think the round looks very different. So that's unfortunate for them, and Renegades are starting to take hold once more of this map. And I think generally we're seeing the firepower of Renegades. They are outmuscling DreamEaters so far.
Yeah, man, that was a Cassard frag. That was really awesome stuff. 2 rounds remain in this half. With the saved weapons, DreamEaters will have a full buy. There we go. You can see him jumping repeatedly. This is not Super Mario Brothers.
That is crazy. That's so cool to see.
Where are you going, mate?
That's awesome.
No one peeks like that.
Yeah, that is actually a really weird peek. Was that with the scopes weapon or something, or what was that? Because you wouldn't be able to see anything otherwise from there.
Right? I don't know, but nobody peeks like that.
That is, yeah, that's definitely exploitable. Good punish.
Kinky's waiting to pop flash Crad into the mid position, but there's no call. He's going to do it dry with some shoulder, some jiggly
wigglies,
jiggly pokery. Crad creeps up to a more aggressive position, and you can see DreamEaters creeping into an aggro setup in mid, but they've got no AWP support. So just a dry pick. If you had like an AWP in a window, for example, for a double pick, it would be a big investment. But with Forrester in position here, as you can see him, I guess there was help being required to put him in that position. This is not looking good for DreamEaters at the moment. Forrester just about surviving for now with 2 HP. He's got to be careful jumping out the window at this point. And Jacob's going to walk straight into it with Speedak in the scope might... How's he still alive? Okay, there we go. Trade is there for Renegades. There was a scope obscuring his spot, and now it's a 3 versus 4 in favor of Renegades.
Oh, did that just make a step? Well, it doesn't really matter because in goes Fiat, gets himself a double, finds the bomb as well. Now it's desperation for Renegades to quickly get that bomb, but Fiat's on top of it. He's trying to defend it. He goes for the 1v1. Fiat will pick that one up. So the bomb's been collected, the frag's been won. It's a 2 versus 2, and Forrester will announce his presence from shorts, but that smoke will provide ample coverage for Liaz as JKS looks to clear the bomb site. However, Kinky's not being spotted, and there comes the double peek, and it's Kinky in a position to win it. JKS forced to go for the plant. I think he might be slightly exposed there, but actually he's trying to defend this one now, and Forrester coming in from the stairs position. Nice shot from him, finishing it off. That flank from Kinky was everything.
2 HP Forrester finishing off the job. But indeed, the flank was very good. A laboured frag, but a frag nonetheless. We move into the last round of the first half, and DreamEaters squeeze one, which looked pretty difficult to make it to 6. DreamEaters close to half-time is always dangerous.
Oh my god.
And that was a nice shot from the side of Renegades. Satisfaction, a fun AWPer to watch. That second kill from Sviat was everything. It was all the things. And now we see both teams still with a good buy as we move into the last round. Another timeout from DreamEaters on this occasion. 2 timeouts each have been taken in this half by the respective teams. Now, can DreamEaters get one more as we move into half-time?
Yeah, it's an interesting game so far in terms of, DreamEaters won the pistol, then they lost 7 rounds in a row. It didn't look like they were able to really do too much against Renegades, and then they started to get those mid aggressions working against Renegades, which was really key because that's where Renegades were getting all the ground. And then since then, Renegades have been struggling to put rounds on the board. This is getting kind of close. Getting aggressive, miss from Gratisfaction. That would have been a huge kill to get. He's going down in middle. Okay, well, Renegades need to contact into A, but look at this setup. This should actually deal with this kind of nicely.
Yep, it's the YouTube MIBR setup. Crad having a look. 935 from Jacob, not quite hitting the mark, but Liaz certainly will, and Crad is stuck now. The lurk from Azza in mid, I think, was supposed to try and pull the CTs out of position on the A bomb side, but Crad is still alive. He doesn't have support in terms of personnel. I don't know if the flashback will get there in time. Sviat maybe needs to throw one over the roof, but Crad will die on his sword. That leaves Sviat 1 versus 2. He has position now, creating some space with a grenade. Could be lurking behind it. Liaz has no idea. Is he brave enough to push CT? He knows that this could be a distraction. He could push CT and just walk towards the B bomb side of so much time.
That would be such a play. Looking to actually just go for the A plant instead, keep it simple. And Sviat just playing it really safe. The whole situation's been reset. And now we get to see some interesting stuff. Liaz, it once again, could push all the way around CT, and that might actually be the play. Meeting of the minds here as Sviat nails him. And my goodness, we're going to get a 7-8 finish here in the first half, James. I did not expect that, given Renegades' dominance. They started to struggle at the end.
Yeah, the late comebacks. I did call it into question if it would happen, and indeed it did. 5 of the last 6 rounds going the way of DreamEaters. Actually a common story in some of their games, but what does it mean for the second half? We will find out soon enough.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. It is time for the second half between DreamEaters and Renegades. This is a best of 3. It's an elimination match. And Renegades, you would definitely peg them as the favorite here. DreamEaters with a late comeback in the first half, though, will make it competitive on Mirage, getting 7 rounds in the end. And it honestly looked like Renegades were on for something greater than 10. So I'm really curious, where does this game actually go at this point? Renegades have looked better on firepower. That's been pretty clear to me. But it's the second half, and it could all flip.
They can't get back to the big bomb site. An over-rotation from Vitality, although obviously doesn't know he's...
Knee push coming in from DreamEaters on this pistol. And Renegades will be going for the A retake. So Grandis faction will be flashed away. And it looks like 5 will survive whilst the bomb goes down, but they must take some position, and it looks like they've chosen jungle and window.
Liaz with the first pop bomb planted for DreamEaters. This is pain for Renegades. They have a kit, but this is the entertainment they don't want right now. Trying to change the channel, but DreamEaters insist on the programming. The bomb is exposed and it's planted well for T-side. Sviat entertaining, delaying yet more. There is position, there is a smoke, and now things might get awkward. Now they might have to close the distance. Azza can be human shield number 1, Decades number 2. The bomb diffuser has been taken out, as have the rest of Renegades. The score is tied.
So the second pistol won by DreamEaters now in this match, and previous half, they only managed to win 2 rounds off the back of the pistol, including the pistol, before Renegades took over the game. So will we see a similar story here? It's a good pistol from them. It's pretty standard stuff. A retake from Renegades. DreamEaters go for the quick play for the bomb plant on A, and then they try to take out. Usually you take jungle or you take CT. Like you try to really force one of the two. Either way, Renegades go for the force buy in this round, and DreamEaters looking to take top mids and presumably underpass as well into mid.
Beautiful round here.
And Renegades have a nice little tidy setup around the A bomb site between jungle, A ramp, and tickets. Gratisfactions on ticket. He could cause some serious damage with that scout.
He's just so smart.
CZ so dangerous on a force buy. HEs are in hand for Renegades.
How you trying to recover? You can see the
One delivered.
get into CG squad.
Nobody home.
Area rotating over towards B.
This is how you peak.
Even when he gets
Not necessarily safe either, especially at the beginning of a round. But it's more common than the madness we saw earlier on.
Yeah, that was really, really well done.
DreamEaters in position now for a split off the B bomb site. Only 2 CTs here, but they've got a forward smoke grenade. It might not cover them too much. Indeed, the high ground will be enough. Azar ringing the bell of Speedak. He can't follow up though.
We'll see.
And position has been lost for Renegades, abandoning the market position as Forrester takes it with the Mac 10. How far does he want to chase for? Gratisfaction hoping to stay alive. Okay, Forrester may stop engaging now, and Renegades may look to reset the situation in the next round with what they are carrying. So far, so good for DreamEaters in this half. They will take the lead over Renegades. Again, it is a best of 3, but you do wonder how strong Renegades will be in this series.
Yeah, it's a slow start, I think, in some respects, but for both teams, I would say. But we have an even score, so no one's really in a hurry. But you definitely need some people to wake up soon in terms of powering up those individuals. And DreamEaters have every opportunity to do that now. They are going to be leading the way, taking the initiative on the T side with the lead on the economy. And Renegades, with the force buy in the previous round, will now just be on whatever they saved, plus a pistol or 2. So not too much that they should be able to do here. And I don't know that they can really necessarily exploit the previous approach. Because you look at that last round and you think, okay, how did DreamEaters just play that anti-force buy? Well, it looked kind of like a default, so there's not necessarily too much Renegades can do unless they want to rush mid. So they'll wait once again. 2 towards the B apartments. Quick mid take from DreamEaters.
The scouts, will it be able to do anything? Will Gratisfaction be served something? The B bomb site's been abandoned. Kinky's lurking with the AK-47, keeping them honest, so DreamEaters may ask questions with the SMGs elsewhere, but perhaps they'll move into another split of the B bomb site. They've got 2 smokes remaining, neither of which are in that mid position, but it seems they will barrel out through the apartments. Or will they? Seems some indecision. Maybe it's all too quiet on the B bomb site.
that's one SMG. And you're fighting.
Renegades very static at present. You can see how close JKS is on the ramp. Gratisfaction by the triple area. So Sviat will be lurking in that mid position. Now Liaz, even though he's only got a USP, if he peeks at the right time, Sviat could be vulnerable. They're walking into the stack. They haven't done too much investigation. JKS has spotted an inquiry on the ramp. Jacob getting closer. He's running the one distraction from his teammates. He will deliver the frag. 3 in quick succession. JKS delivering a 2K with that CZ. There's time pressure as well for DreamEaters. And that bomb needs to cross to the site. The scout's been taken out. Liaz has a Mac 10 in the meantime. There's a flashbang to be delivered by Renegades. Krad being very, very careful. Trying to make it to the site, which looks like he might just do. Actually taking a fight. 10 seconds now to plant this bomb.
Yeah, and you see whilst the plant's going down, that's the moment to move here for the Renegades. Azar makes his push forwards, and that buys space for the rest of the team as they try to make this work, but everyone's missing their shots. It's down to the last man. Lias gets it done with the USP in the end. And of course, plenty of time to get that defuse in. So disaster strikes for DreamEaters.
Yeah, and that's a weird situation where the only person watching B is the guy with the AK-47. If, with so many Mac 10s, if they send one in as a scout towards the B bomb site, an expendable person, they throw a pop flash through the window or something, and or just take a risk and go closer to the balcony balcony, see if anybody engages, then maybe that would be a worthy risk to avoid the situation where they're essentially gambling on one of the sites with limited information. Pushing with 30 seconds on the clock versus 5 players is not the most ideal situation, and it has lent themselves into this situation. But they've got the AKs out in the AWP for DreamEaters, but this is a round that Renegades should perhaps not have. Gratisfaction delivering a Molotov, expecting a smoke to come into the window. Nothing doing just yet. Timing's almost good through the smoke with the AWP. He'll pop a flash to go in the lower area. It's a little jump peek as well, but he can't hold on to this position for so long. Eventually he'll have to move away. Don't generally see snipers in the window for too long anyway, just jump spotting, but perhaps there is use elsewhere for this AWP. Speedak going for the pig, but Gratisfaction is not a shy sniper. Sviat moving through the lower area, and Gratisfaction still jump spotting. I do wonder what his intentions will be once he sees no one's there. So from his position right here, standing on the table support, looking into the lower area, that is a wall-bangable position from top mid, but it's not a lineup you even see attempted in professional Counter-Strike. It does exist, you could probably find it on YouTube, but you just don't see it. So if there is a sniper who has a habit of taking that position, then maybe with the right coach, a wallbang will come into play. You can see DreamEaters have collected the bomb. Forrester in Palace. Sviat making his way towards top mid. He has one of the 3 smoke grenades which he will be throwing towards the jungle position. That was quite the throw. Where will the remainder go? There's a jungle connector smoke from Crad. The other one's for the stairs. So CT's been left open. Gratisfaction moves more aggressive into the site to support JKS. 20 seconds on the clock for DreamEaters.
And that is a great shot to start things off for Renegades. JKS defending as well. There's too many problems here. They needed to get past these first hurdles, but the bomb's been dropped, and now everybody's been dropped, leaving Forrester in a dodgy position here towards the Palace spot, and he's going to be falling back here, and now he's forced to save his gun. Maybe dying would have been a good option. Just to keep the money together, but I guess it'll be okay.
Well, they can still, on the flip side, we know some teams will have a hero rifle or something to try and keep the CT economy honest. So it equates to the same thing on this occasion. They can try to maim the Renegades economy at least, or maybe go for a little more. Perhaps what they're discussing at the moment as they have called a timeout. Now, we know that DreamEaters sometimes can be exploitable on their T side. We saw the aggression from Astralis. It is, of course, Astralis. But I do wonder if that will give Renegades some ideas, and if they'll raise the level of aggression. Still in good spirits. I think that's really important, especially with the results they've had of late, to be smiling and laughing in the first map of this best of 3.
Yeah, it's definitely important. So we get back into it now, and this is a really good opportunity for Renegades to start putting their foot down once again. We saw previously on the first half that was a good string of 7 rounds in which they did that, and replicating that here would obviously be fatal for DreamEaters in this map. And it's going to be a play into the B apartments and underpass, it seems. So what is the plan around the rifle? They've got the rifle. Where is the rifle? Is that an underpass as well? Looks like it. Yep, it is indeed. The number was obscured by. So yeah, they're moving so close together. Jacob eliminates 1 and 2, and the rifle's gone, and so is pretty much most of the team. Gratisfaction lending a hand there with the AWP, and looks like all the firepower is gone now from this round. You just got a Deagle and a P250 remaining, and Renegades look good to survive with 4.
Yeah, DreamEaters will try to squeeze out what they can. The bomb being stuck behind the boxes top mid isn't really the biggest issue. Crad walking into a grenade and gets a lot worse. Gratisfaction delivers the final kill, and there's not much more to say about the round. 11-9 for Renegades. They'll feel comfortable having built a little money in these recent rounds, but now it's time for DreamEaters to buy once again. AKs coming out, grenades also. See what they're able to do. 16-11 is Gratisfaction, as is JKS. Gratisfaction, JKS, Krad, and Sviat all fighting for the top fragger position, all on 16 at present, but soon things may change. There we go, the Molotov, the smoke goes straight into it and keeps Gratisfaction able to see. He's got to be careful though, because there could be a T-push through that smoke, and he's going to miss it completely, but they're not even paying attention. They've been caught off guard by his Molotov, not really paying respect to that smoke grenade. Krad moving up short into the B position, a fast attempt from DreamEaters. 3 versus 5, they're not going very well for there. There's a spray through the smoke, and that'll leave Kinky with 20 HP. This is falling to pieces. He's in the window. JKS is gonna just move too far forward without pulling his gun out. I don't know if the comms were there, but now maybe there's a chance for Kinky to do some more damage.
Yeah, that bomb though, it's so very lost, and his health is so low. Loss bonus accruing for them is going to be at round number 4. So that is $2,900 of loss bonus. And there it is, gets eliminated by Azza, rounding the corner. 12-9, and Renegades are looking good to take control here. They're starting to build some serious bank as well behind their wins, and that's going to be really nice for them moving forwards. DreamEaters have some decisions to make here. They could definitely create like a set piece with the amount of money they have. They can each spend around $1,500 if they wanted, or maybe more in fact, because of the loss bonus. So they could spend like it's 2K per player, so that is Kevlar grenades and a P250 if they really want, and they can just try to run a set piece or something like that. But they will opt to be very conservative with the money. You can see just being really annoying there. Dropping the incendiary behind the catwalk smoke, slowing things down for DreamEaters. Looks like they want a B-split here.
Making their way up Cat. Azza is ready. Gratisfaction can cover. He's got a little flick in him. And Kinky and Speedak remain. And maybe there's a chance to plant the bomb. Azza with 12 HP. Surely he wants some rotation. Oh, he's out in the lone in short. That smoke might help him. Kinky, what will he choose to do? Maybe he thinks he's got a chance at another frag. Perhaps there's more value in that than planting the bomb. This position can be sprayed, though Gratisfaction's got AWP. A wide peek from JKS, and all is well. Renegades looking good at the moment, but their lead is only 4 rounds. Another buy from DreamEaters. Outside of the pistol, it is a 5-0 for Renegades, essentially. For all intents and purposes, that is the climate on Mirage at present, which is very promising for the likes of Renegades.
Yeah, they're looking kind of unstoppable now, but this would be a great spot for DreamEaters. They've got everything you could possibly want. They've got the AWP on Speedak as well, and oh, he was $50 short of having the full Kevlar and helmet, but here goes Azza, and this is a classic smoke for Cher we're seeing repeatedly. Sviat, though, is so far forward, he's going to be able to catch Azza in the back, so this is problematic in the extreme here for Renegades. They need some kills quickly. What the hell is that? That's exactly what they needed. How does he get a second one out of that?
People traffic in the mid position, Renegades blocking each other, but somehow getting a second frag, and that could be so important. Speedak's taken out, Sviat's low on health. Somehow DreamEaters have the bomb, and it's a 2 versus 2, so as I talk, it gets better for them. They've got so much time on the clock again. Very likely that if they just take a position and wait, they'll be playing against a 1-0-1. More likely than not, more often than not. We'll see what Gratisfaction chooses to do. It seems he is seeking to destroy. Looking top mid at present, not seeing much of anything. We'll see if he chooses to go back and forth between the window and A, moving away from the window as DreamEaters start to creep. If he goes back to the window, he could catch them completely off guard because they've got to creep. They've got to move in silence.
Gratisfaction will take it. Oh, this is so timely. Was he spotted? It didn't look like he was actually necessarily spotted there.
He's seen the bomb, though.
And they're actually going to go up into the window. I think had they spotted him, they wouldn't have made this move, but it might actually end up working out quite well for them. Gratisfaction with a rotation towards Ticket. Would they have heard his running? It seems like they may have done. And now he'll spot them, and not ready for it, Sviat. Here comes the second peek, perhaps, from Gratisfaction, as he knows the bomb is on the ground. They have to go for it. The flick is missed, and Diaz is maybe out of position. Indeed, he's quite out of position, moving from catwalk into the 1 versus 1.
Now, he should know that Forrester hasn't crossed the CT, so there are limitations as to where he could go. Could be Sandwich. This will surely be checked for. Palace is extremely unlikely. Forrester moving. He's got to be careful. And there is the frag for Liaz. He'll take the AWP, and it's round 14 for Renegades.
So one quick thing to note there, if that 1v1 for Liaz, he puts himself against the bench, so he's really far away when he's peeking sandwich, and he's got a right eye peek versus the left eye peek, where his opponent's extremely close to the wall. So he sees his opponent there with so much warning, and that's basically just a checkmate move from Liaz there, if you're sitting in that sandwich position. So good stuff from Liaz to be very aware of how you know, obviously he's a professional, he knows how to peek certain positions with most efficacy, but it's something to watch out for if you're learning the game, how to peek spots effectively. Now we've got a really desperate situation now, James, for DreamEaters. Of course, they've got a big loss bonus, so they should have a buy in the next round regardless if they get the bomb down, but...
The problem is they're not winning any rounds.
Yes.
That's the problem. Ultimately, they've lost 6 rounds in a row. In 2 of them only have they planted the bomb. So that's the issue here for DreamEaters. Renegades, it'll be so good for them. I think psychologically, I think they'll perform better if they win the first game of the series, honestly, the way things have been going. Gratisfaction has a look. What do you hear? The collision of the Molotov. Kinky moves. Oh no, it is going to touch him. And there's a support smoke grenade. However, Sviat's already in position. Will this be a false sense of security for JK? Yes, it will be. He walks straight into a headshot. And now Jacob's got some issues. Potential crossfire for Gratisfaction for just a second. He's going to go for a brazen peek around the smoke, though. That is very cheeky indeed as they're moving in. Gratisfaction moving out. But they still need to get into better positions on the A-bomb side.
Absolutely. It's going to be an interesting one. Gratisfaction has a decent position. There is an incendiary, a flash, and a smoke on Renegades, which definitely affords them some options moving in for the retake. Now, what is the queue for Renegades? Presumably, it would be... So who has the nades? It's as was the incendiary. Liaz, who is... Okay, so they're not going to go for it, it seems. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that's fine, I guess. I mean, they've got lots of money. I guess actually, though, Jacob and JKS don't have the most money in the world, so there's nothing wrong with playing this conservatively. And it will be the round for DreamEaters, but so many more need to follow. And as you say, James, there's been no consistency. If you count the pistol rounds, which would amount for 2 rounds apiece, DreamEaters have only effectively won 6 rounds so far.
That is a very good observation, Dan. 4-round lead for Renegades. DreamEaters just now making it to double figures. It's really weird, these situations, in the sense that one team has so much success, but just with round one, the score, when you look at it, is pretty close. Doesn't really tell the story, as you said, with both pistols won by DreamEaters. But again, it could be enough. It has been enough in some previous games. Both teams still on the buy. There's still some money for Renegades, and the aggression continues as a very aggressive. He's boosting over the smoke, just trying to have a look where that bin is to the left-hand side. There used to be a gimmicky boost over that, or over the smoke from a similar position there, to look into the window. Watch out for that one in matchmaking, rears its ugly head sometimes, but there is an early frag for Renegades. Gratisfaction with savage aggression, and with that they've moved back. Not too greedy, Renegades.
Yeah, I was to say that the great thing about that incendiary is it guarantees that unless you hear them smoke it, they're never running through that. So you get to, because mid is a big place, you got to run pretty far to get to the next covered position. So that incendiary buys Gratisfaction time to get back to wherever he wants to connect to short or window, whatever it might be. And DreamEaters now with the bomb towards A ramp, and they're being really slow about their mid control as well. They've got 2 players in mid area, and they are going A given where the bomb is at this time in the round. So they need to connect it pretty quickly. This is very disjointed, this push, James. What if they lose the bomb here? Well, as Jacob takes down Speedak, and the bomb is, has it been spotted? It was surely will be now. JKS is calling for some questions, and there'll be some answers. Fiat, nice spray. That might just give them what they need to get back in this round.
Indeed. Gratisfaction, the only man with an angle on the A-bomb site for now, but that bomb still needs to make it to the site itself. No more grenades for the CT side, just weapons. They've got no one to connect to stop the bomb from being planted. That's a great correction from Gratisfaction. Sviat trying to get away from the site, but where could he possibly go? Gratisfaction knows he's somewhere missing the shot, but the CTs are swinging with him, leaving Forrester alone. That Molotov will only be good for a little while. Gratisfaction waiting for an eventual peak. Oh, he's going to fall to the flames, but the bomb will be defused anyway. Game point for Renegades. It is a best of 3, excuse me.
There we go. Is there really a chance here after all for DreamEaters? I would say, even though Renegades win that round, because the bomb went down, they have ample money to go with, and it's just 5 rounds. You know, there is always time for a resurgence. Always time for a resurgence in a game like Counter-Strike. It's not over until it's over and all of the rest of it, but we do need to see something more, something new from DreamEaters here. Renegades will start things off with a fairly conservative approach in middle there. You can see Gratisfaction not going or committing towards shorts, and DreamEaters have taken the bomb towards the underpass. 3 through underpass here, so right now it feels like they're thinking about the A bomb site. With these 3 players, you can try to take over connector, boost someone in window. They've got somebody towards A. They're going to have 2 people towards A ramp and Palace. So this is A split written all over it, but look at this. Looking over the top of the smoke, the damage could have been huge. A 1-for-1 though, but information for Renegades.
Gratisfaction now around the smoke. He's going to do something wild. He saw that he maybe wanted to. Crad left on 2 HP. Perhaps that's enough. His teammates can try to capitalize on that. Liaz with a great decision to push through B apartments. That can leave Renegades to focus on the A bomb site with 2 players. DreamEaters with 2 guys in Palace, and the bomb with 2 HP, presumably coming out of the ramp, is extremely awkward. There is the flank, and there is the bomb. Where are the remaining 2 players? It's coming out of the Palace position. JKS will be taken out, but in the meantime, we've got another rotation. Not 1, but 2 CTs in T spawn. The bomb is just around the corner, enough to potentially be rescued. Liaz is creeping. Forrester is going to get taken out. Speedax left him alone to pick up the bomb. No trades for the Ts, and this might be the end of the road. This would be the weirdest clutch, but surely it's going to be a 2-man peak. There it is. Renegades take the first match, 16-10 over DreamEaters.
Yeah, it looked a little bit shaky here or there for Renegades, but I think overall we saw better firepower. We saw them look a little bit more routine, and I think there were signs of weakness though.